BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're having a little bit of a pullback. It's only very small at the moment, tiny in fact, it's barely even happening. If we're looking at this on the 4 hourly, we've moved from basically just into the range. We hit 66,200 yesterday, and we've pulled back to the Bollinger Band, so it's the 20 moving average on the 4 hourly, so it's a very small baby step down, and with this kind of move you'd expect another attempt higher. We do have and have had bearish divergence, only this one to here, so we could make another attempt to make a new local high on this 4 hourly, give ourselves a third drive of bearish divergence. And with that, we might see a deeper pullback, and that pullback, if anything, if anywhere, you would expect to move into this golden cross, which has happened on exponentials on the 4 hourly. So let's just imagine that we'll just say, let's just say we revisited the wick high, the top of this 4 hourly Bollinger Band, and then move back down from the top to the bottom. You might be looking at around about 7% over the next few days, if we make another run up. Either way, you know, looking at this is what the sort of thing that we want. We've been looking and waiting for these sort of things to happen on these charts. We got it now on Bitcoin, so this is a good start really. This kind of suggests potentially change of behavior, which means uptrend. But it's not that simple. It's not that simple. There is something else to be concerned about. Not the daily, obviously. The daily is still golden crossed with divergence across the board. Looking really nice. Looking continuation. Continuation is the most likely state of affairs here, but not without a pullback, let's face it. So a pullback 62,000 is fine, 61,400, that's your 21 exponential. Obviously lower than that would be a bit of a problem, and again the weekly, it's all about that 21 exponential as well, which is 61,004 or 5. And again, if we just think about this, what's down here? What's this golden cross? 61,005. So it's all about the 61,500 across most of the time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hourly. We can pull back to this area and love life, probably even worthy of a position, because it wouldn't take long to know if you're wrong. That's where you want to go. Right, so I said there's something else to think about, and I'll show it to you now. So we got the Nasdaq, which basically over this last week so far, and actually it's from last week to be honest with you, but this week so far it's down 4.27%. Oh my god, what does it mean? Well, all good things come to an end. Everything wants to have a pullback, and at the moment it certainly is pulling back. What about our friend S&P? What's that doing? Not quite the same. Had a little run up yesterday, all-time high. Today, well, actually that's not today, is it? This is the futures market. This is today. So there we go. It was a new all-time high yesterday, and then bang, all the way down 1.44%. What are we gonna do? It's feeling a little unstable, I have to say, but is it ready to come down lower? Well, expect maybe a retest of the 21 or the 20 down here, 5.5 thousand. Why am I saying it like that? 5,550 is what I'm talking about. That's what we're looking for, maybe. But we're getting a support so far on the 10 exponential, as we did here, and here. So yeah, that was a pretty sharp sort of move down, but it's not the end of the world. That's what I call analysis. Let's get rid of this. So let's have a look at the Dixie, shall we? So the Dixie has been faded right off. Daily below all moving averages, a bit of a dead cat bounce here. Hidden bullish divergence, fine. 4 hourly, this is broken a trend with a death cross already, so we're seeing that come down. So really, it's all about the weekly and the weekly supports, which there is none. So really, this is looking pretty good, and this complements everything that we're looking at right now, which is continuation to the upside. But that doesn't mean that we just go straight up. We've been going up for ages, let's face it. You know, it's been pretty awesome these last, well, I suppose the rally's been going on for over a week now. We've hit all targets from our trades, which was a maximum of 50%. Some of these altcoins have done more than that, which is always good. But we've hit all the targets, right? So now it's time for a little bit of a breath before we decide if we can go up further. The Dixie, if it wants to, can hit down here, 101.5, golden cross retest, where you would imagine to see a ricochet back up. If you're going to see a reversal back up to new local highs on the Dixie, it'll start from either here or maybe at best down here, which is just dipping below 100. So we might be looking for some more fun there. Total 2 rejected on the Bollinger Band Center, your 20 weekly. So that's fine. This is exactly what happened to Bitcoin as well, by the way. So take yourself to the weekly, 20 moving average on the weekly. Bollinger Band strategy will tell you that you're 65% more likely to remain in the band portion that you're in. So we're in the bottom portion of the band, so rejection is more likely. It's only 65%, but it's still statistically larger than the opposite, which is you're more likely to break. Well, you're not. It's 35% likely to break. It's okay odds. If you had a 35% chance of winning the lottery, you know, you'd play it all the time, you know, and you would win all the time. But, you know, on the first attempt, it's probably not going to do it. It's probably not going to do it. Can it do it? Of course it can. But is it going to do it? I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see. So, if we just wind our necks back in and we're grateful for the move that we've been given, obviously we were all about exiting those trades after the targets were met. Most of those targets were death cross retests on dailies, for instance. We talked about that loads. We talked about that on the Patreon, you know, and then a pullback. At that point, maybe we can build these trends on altcoins on 4 hourlies, just as Bitcoin is potentially building a trend on a 4 hourly. So, long story short, it's exactly the same thing that I've been saying this whole time, right? That an alt rally will happen. Will it be called an alt season? Well, some people will call it that. I've called it an alt rally. So now what we're looking at, if you want to see continuation, you focus on charts which have now received these golden crosses. You wait to see if you get a retest of them. You take positions and hopefully you will continue from there. You know, obviously, you know, something like VeChain has had it. So we'll be looking for a move down into it. Is it on the daily? No, it's not. That's a death cross on the daily. So well, the best thing you can hope for would be a golden cross retest and a V-shaped recovery and then a breakout. At the moment, on the daily, what you've had is a dead cat bounce into a death cross and a rejection. So this is pretty much what's happening across the board for all the altcoins. The dailies, for the most part, and again, for the most part, something like Pepe is not like this. You know, there is altcoins out there which don't have the same setup, but for the most part, most of them do have the same setup. Death cross retest, this is what we're expecting. If you're going to get a bounce, you'll get a bounce into that. That's a 40% move. Thank you, everybody. Good night. If we're going to get continuation, you will be building a trend on a shorter-term time frame, like the 4 hourly after golden crosses. Retest them to see if they're strong. If they are strong, take a position, move back up to the top of the range and hopefully break out. Then at that point, developing a trend over the next few months on a daily and a weekly, and that's where alt seasons will start to take shape. Because you can't call an alt season on a bearish chart. You can call a dead cat bounce on a bearish chart. You can call a death cross retest on a bearish chart. These things happen. This is why we were expecting it, and it shouldn't come as any surprise that that's where we're getting rejected from. It's the same analysis in reverse on the 4 hourly is what we're looking for now if you want to get continuation. And look, if we break out, excellent, love that. But if we don't, we shouldn't be surprised. So yeah, long story short, let's just have a look and see what the Dixie's doing, see what Bitcoin does today. Let's see what traditional markets, Nasdaq, S&P do today. And other than that, it's a day to sit back and enjoy the money that we've made in a short space of time, and consider taking trades at lower spots. It doesn't have to happen today, obviously. It could take next week before we revisit these areas. We could go up and then down. Like I said, it's easily, it could happen on Bitcoin with only this single drive of bearish divergence. You'd like to see a third drive before a deeper pullback of 7%. So it doesn't have to happen today. You could go up before you go down. And then these are the supports. It's all about 61,500. Bitcoin closing above there on any time frame is good. Closing below there on, well, let's say from the 4 hourly to the daily to the weekly, we got a problem, baby. We got a problem. Right, other than that, I want you to join the Patreon. We can look at all the altcoins that you want throughout this 2 hour period that we do on Fridays, Tuesdays and Fridays, every Tuesday, every Friday. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy trading. Congratulations in this last week or two. And let's reassess for another trade, probably from a lower area, over the next few days. Right, thanks for watching. Take it easy.